Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? I have no idea if this thing's working. Am I live? I need someone to tell me if you can hear me or not. Hello? I think there's a delay here. I'm going to wait until someone says they can actually hear me. Pocket razors, hello. Loud and clear. Okay, thank you, Loyola. Okay, everyone can suddenly hear me. How is everybody? I know you don't usually see me with glasses on, but years of looking at computer screens on a trading floor, I guess finally did my eyes in. Wow, the messages. Hello, everyone. Hi. So, how many are on? 220. Hello, everyone. I've got the comments on slow mode because I knew this was going to happen. It's very difficult for me to keep up. So anyway, I'm going to give it a bit longer, let everyone come on. Oh, wow, 325 on now. Sitrep. I'm still in Canada. I'm on Vancouver Island. All the plans went wrong on this trip. I was meant to drive across Canada from Vancouver to Toronto, and I bit off way more than I can chew for a 2-week trip. Absolute nightmare. I just couldn't get my act together. And then throw in a trip to go and see Steve Wallace, camping with Steve, which took me, I'd say, 24 hours to recover from as well. And I know it took him, I think, again, 24 hours to recover from. We had a pretty heavy night. So I basically just decided that I wasn't going to make it in time. I would have had to have driven something like 600, 700 kilometers a day with no stops, and it just wasn't going to happen. So the good folks at Canada Dream, who I rented this van from, kindly allow me to do a loop and bring it back to Vancouver. So I've got 2 nights left. Yeah, this is day 13. Or is it 14? You see, I've completely lost track. I think it's day 13. And this is my last camp spot where I am. If anyone wants to look up where I am, I'm at a campsite called Weirs Beach, Weirs. I'm overlooking the sea. It's absolutely beautiful spot. I've got 2 nights here, and then I'm off, flying to New York via Chicago, and I'm in New York for a couple of nights. So I haven't been looking at the comments while I've been talking, but I can just see it flying past. Someone mentioned, glad you got to see Steve. Yes, it was great to see him. I'd never met Steve before. Steve Wallace, if you don't know who he is, he's a big YouTuber. He does a lot of stealth camping. He's had a lot going on in his life at the moment, and it was good to catch up with him and give him some cheery thoughts. And I know some of you are going to ask, did I see Crazy Neighbor? No. Glenn is with his family, surrounded by family. I'm not going to say any more on that subject. I will leave that to Steve and to Glenn to send out any updates and what's been happening. And if they choose to say exactly what's been happening, that's up to them. Yes, and it was great to see Steve. Steve is exactly as you can imagine, and good fun. He likes his step twos. The second I got in through the door, a beer was thrust into my hand. And then I think after 7 beers, I thought it would be a really good idea to bring in a 1 liter bottle of Kraken rum. And we drank that. Oh, it was a bad night. Well, a good night, but a bad night. So how's everything been going? Well, look, I can't keep up with these comments, but I'm in this flipping enormous van. I released, okay, so the video for the first 4 days, I've said this before, the way YouTube works is we have to release at certain times within our sort of, not schedule, but pattern. So that'll be released. What day is it today? Thursday, 14th. It's going to be released in 24 hours. So Friday the 15th. It's out right now where I store them, which is for YouTube members. So obviously members of the channel have a lot of them have already seen the video. So this is the first part 1. And they've seen what's been happening. They've seen the van. I think, just show you what the van kind of looks like. I'm recharging all of my gear here, so this will be a bit messy. But if I just give you a pan around, it's massive. There's my bed in the background. I've got a full kitchen. And I'm in a sort of a slide out dinette kind of thing here. And I've got some neighbors over there who unfortunately recognized me and almost tracked me down on the beach, but I got away. And then out there is the sea. Through the windscreen, you can just see the sea and the mainland and Vancouver. So that's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm dealing with at the moment. All of this will come out on the video, obviously. And for those who have seen the video already, I hope you liked it. Oh, there you go. Paula just said, I have seen part 1, loved it. Great. I did put out a poll asking how people wanted me to do the video show, just do one video or a few videos, and I had so much footage. So it looks like it's going to be at least 2 videos, maybe 3. You never know. Ev, just watched the first one. Excellent tour. Is it any warmer now? Yes, it is. As soon as I came down to Vancouver Island, the temperature rose quite a bit. So outside right now, I think it's about 10 degrees centigrade, something like that. Let me get 9 degrees. Okay. And it's going down to 2 degrees tonight. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. You'll have to Google it. That's centigrade. So the coldest it got to that I saw physically that I went out in was minus 18, but it did hit minus 20. Tony Beddoe. Tony, do you have a Canadian accent? No, I don't think I do. I might have a bit of an American twang because I worked for American firms all my life. And, worked over there a lot. Tony, do you miss Bruno? Well, funny you should say that. Who said that? Erica. Yeah. So today it kind of struck me that I'm missing Anne and Bruno and Brandon. So I was a bit down earlier today. You'll see that on camera. It just, it's a long time to be away from your loved ones, being alone. So not even having friends around or anything, just alone. I definitely couldn't do van life, solo van life. Wouldn't work for me. I'm a social creature. I definitely need my wife and definitely need my dog. Not necessarily in that order. It depends on the day and how much I've had to drink. What else? I hope you realize, Tony, that you could post a video a day and we'd love it. I'm sure you would, but it's an editing. Editing is a nightmare. Uploading is a nightmare. I've only been at a couple of sites where I've had decent internet. This is one of them, pretty decent internet. But my files are 80 gigabytes to 100 gigabytes. I don't know if that means anything to anybody, but they, it can take 12 to 24 hours to upload the files, which can be a nightmare. Now, while I'm sitting here, I'm going to have a glass of wine, of course, and I'm going with a Church and State Wines Cabernet Franc. Now, I've already had half of this last night. It's 2019, and it's from the Okanagan Valley. And I can tell you all, it's tasty. And just in case you're wondering, dinner tonight is burgers. When I've cooked in the van, I'll be honest with you, dinner every night has been burgers or hot dogs or potato chips. An empty packet here, scene of the crime. Cheers, everybody. I hope you're having a drink wherever you are, if it's safe to, and enjoy it. Yum. I've got one cigar left. I've done a few cigar times. So I've got another night here. So tomorrow night, I'll be doing my cigar time. I've got a fire pit outside. I've got a whole bunch of wood. I will have one more fire, one more cigar time to say goodbye. And I've got, I just saw, are you off your meat diet? You mean the carnivore diet? Yes. For this trip, I have been eating whatever I want, whenever I want, which will become evident on the videos. It's pretty obvious. I even found Indian restaurants, which is my favorite food. While you're in Canada, I'm in Arkansas with tornadoes watch till 12 a.m. Ace of Heart. Well, don't go outside. Okanagan is Washington State, just south of you. Washington State? Okanagan? Is it? No, Okanagan Valley. So, I see what you mean. Okanagan is, yes, but the Okanagan Valley runs all the way up through Canada, right? So this is Canadian. This is from British Columbia. Do you think you'll go back on the carnivore diet when you get back to Kiwi land? Yes, 100%. It's the only thing that worked. I dropped 20 kilos, got my body fat right down, and felt fantastic. I can already feel the weight coming back on now. So I will be going back to my carnivore diet. But when I get back, I will make a break. So during camping trips, I will be off the carnivore diet. Question from DMC. Tony, we love a Cigar. Is sharing your thoughts and common sense natural for you, or have you developed it through your videos? It depends. It depends how many drinks I've had. The more drinks I've had, the more natural it is for me. Try Minnesota on your next adventure, from Tim Pye. Look, there's so many places I could go, but to be honest, the next place I will probably go next year would be Alaska. Is Anne watching? And what time is it in New Zealand? So Anne isn't watching right now. She is driving. She said she'd be home in half an hour when I was doing this. So she will click on at some point, I think, if she remembers. Don't think it's high on her priorities. But if she does remember, then you will see her pop up and she'll say hi. But she's not on there yet. So yes, probably Alaska would be the next place I would go. I've been researching, maybe doing an RV thing again. How many people are on now? 799. Yeah, maybe doing an RV thing again. I'm not 100% sure. And someone was saying, 3 p.m. is it? Yes, it's just coming up to 3 p.m. in New Zealand now. So here, it's just coming up to 7 p.m. and it's 3 p.m. tomorrow in New Zealand. So it's actually Friday, 3 p.m. For Anne, whereas here it's Thursday, 7 p.m. Crazy time zone differences. Did she see the shower shot from Paula? She's seen that shot many, many times in the flesh, and she's still not impressed. Yeah, the shower scene. Yeah. So I haven't edited the video that shower scene is going in yet. So I'm not 100% sure how much of that is going to make it. It might, and it wasn't cold water, by the way. It was hot water, but at the beginning it was cold. And no, I hadn't sprayed it on myself at that point. Hello, everybody. 10 p.m. in Detroit. Okay, the shower scene. Look, I thought everyone needs to see everything about the camper van, and I show pretty much everything. The only thing I haven't done is shown me sitting on the toilet or using the toilet, and I'll leave that to your imagination. Collaboration with outdoor boys in Alaska. So look, collaborations on that topic. Yes, I saw Steve Wallace, and we hung out, and it was a great time. And I should let you all know I did not film any of it. I went there to see Steve as a personal thing, to have drinks with him, ask him loads of questions. He asked me questions, and just to get on. I'm not into collaborations, and we do a totally different style of camping. So he does his thing, I'll do mine. But no, I didn't video it. There is no collaboration. There probably will never be collaborations with anybody else. Outdoor boys. Look, he's way too big. He's a top tuber. If he asked me to collab, if I was there, I would jump at the chance, just to go camping with him, not necessarily even have it on film, but just for him to, to basically be his bitch for a day while he digs out holes. I have to do it instead of him. Queen, come and stay at the lodge. I don't know where that is. Ace of Heart, Queen Wilhelmina. I don't know where that is. Is that Canada or is that Alaska? Or what? I don't know where that is. Hello from Tampa, Florida, Ellen. Hello. We will be in Florida in August, and I don't know where. Anyway, and sorting that out. But we will be there because Brandon is going to be going to college in Florida. Where in New York are you going to? I'm just going into New York City. I will be staying right opposite Central Park. I've already got dinners booked with colleagues, friends, do some shopping, that kind of stuff. Yeah, I do love going to New York. I know it's not everybody's favorite place, but I have a lot of good memories there. Love the glasses. Thank you. I know you guys just don't see them at all. I only use them now, rarely. It's just for reading close up. It's amazing. When your eyes go, they just go instantly. I grew up in Alaska. Don't do the tourist spots. Those are mostly seasonal. So I would be trying to go in winter. Now, one thing that has really surprised me about this trip in Canada, and it's put a bit of a downer on it, but in winter, every single park is closed. It's just full of snow. And I can understand why they do it, but all the RV parks up north are closed. So north of BC, north Alberta, everything is shut. Even the provincial parks, their campgrounds are shut. And the reason is, I mean, you turn up at them. I turned up at a couple of them, and there's probably half a meter of snow drenched over the whole site. So you just can't get in there, which is why they close them, because they know it's just not worth it. People's water freezes, so they don't do it. So it has sucked in that respect. It's been limited where I can stay. It's not easy to do what Steve would call boondocking anywhere here at the moment. And you do get the feeling that you're not really welcome to do it. What we call freedom camping in New Zealand. So that aspect has sucked. I've had to stay at a couple of places more than one night, and had to drive a long way to find spaces, only to find they're closed. Also, a lot of the sites, the private RV sites, they're not online for bookings. You have to phone them or email, which it seems very, very, very old school. Hi, Tony. Ramona here. Try an electric blanket to keep you warm when camping. Low watts, and you can plug it. You know what? When you're camping, I don't need to. I've got a pad. I've got my sleeping bag. It's all good. Everything jumped past really quickly there. Stealth camping. That's not me. That's Steve. Steve is the stealth camper. I would love to, but I'll leave it for Steve to discuss. Would you do a meet and greet in New York City? I'm positively lies. So the thing with meet and greets is we were going to do this last year. In fact, we managed to do one, which was in Singapore. And I'll be honest, it was so stressful that I also, Bruce passed away at that time. So I was not in the mood. I was so upset. I couldn't do it. And I didn't want everyone coming up to me talking about Bruce. So we didn't do them. We canceled all the meet and greets. And to be honest, it was so stressful that I don't want to do them because it puts you on a schedule. There's a lot of people to talk to and you don't get to meet everybody. So I just probably will not be doing meet and greets again. I'm sorry about that. Is Bruno watching you live? I don't know. It depends if Anne is watching, because Bruno will be with Anne. If she's on, when she comes on, she will probably send me a text. Let me ask her. So we'll see. I'm sure, honestly, she's probably got shopping and stuff like that. And this is probably the last thing she wants to do is go on and deal with this as well. St. Patrick's meet and greet near Vancouver. I will be in New York for St. Patrick's Day. And also, I'm parked up now. I'm plugged in. I'm not going anywhere. This is a 28-foot long van. It is not conducive to driving into any sort of town. Driving this thing through Victoria and some of the back roads, Google Maps doesn't know I'm driving a 28-foot van, and it sent me down some streets where I wish it hadn't. Luckily, didn't scratch anything, catch anything, but yeah, it's not conducive just to popping down the shops. Oh, Anne's just text me. Is it a live chat? Oh, I didn't know. I didn't realize. Yes. So we'll see. She might jump on. I don't know. You'll see her name pop up. If she does, it will come up with Anne. I don't know if it comes up with Anne Brooker or not. Waffles. What about waffles and maple syrup? Breakfast tomorrow. Waffles and maple syrup. I have them both here. I haven't had a single breakfast since I've been here. Who wrote that? Robbing Banks. I haven't had a single breakfast since I've been here because I don't tend to eat breakfast. But tomorrow, and I talked about it in the video, I am going to do it because I've just got to. First ever live Little Klondike Outdoors. Just got back from my beekeepers meeting just in time. I used to keep bees and I loved it. Hey, would you consider doing a camp out with Luke of Outdoor Gear Review? As I said, I'm not into collabs. Tony, what's up, brother? Hey, TNX, is it Jesus or Jesus? You'll have to tell me. You have to eat some grits. Look, there's a lot of things I have to eat, but tomorrow it's going to be waffles and maple syrup, maybe some bacon with it as well. And now everybody's saying that exact same thing. Where in New York City are you considering staying? I'm staying in a hotel. I'm not going to tell people where I'm staying, what hotel I'm in. Can you imagine it? Knock, knock, knock. Hello. No, believe me. When you've got quite a few followers, you don't tend to tell people where you are. Did you temporarily go off the carnivore diet? Yes, as I said earlier, and a lot of you won't have seen that. How many are on there now? Oh, 1,045. Yes, I'm off the carnivore diet for this holiday. So I've been definitely living it up, making the most of it. You should try a burger with sauteed onions and steak sauce. Well, actually, Steve cooked me burgers and then soaked them in onion soup. You'd have to ask Steve about it, but they were delicious, even though it was midnight and we were completely plastered by that point. Did you shop outdoor gear in Canada? Yes, I got a Thermarest sleeping pad for half the price that it costs in New Zealand. Tony, are you buying any new cigars? Not while I'm here, no, because I can't take them into the US because they're Cuban. He's at the Waldorf. No, I'm not at the Waldorf. Maria, hello, Tony. Hello from upstate New York. Onion burgers. Yes, I've made some onion burgers. I've had cheeseburgers a lot, almost every night while I've been here, except when I've eaten out. AB Steve, such an awesome treat. Thank you. It was good to meet him, Justin. Thank you very much. Big Bad Mower. How long are you in Canada for? Okay. So a lot of people are joining now, will have missed what I said earlier, but I've only got 2 more nights left. And I'm at the campground. I'm near Victoria on Vancouver Island. Vancouver Island, by the way. Wow. It is beautiful. Absolutely stunning. And I wasn't meant to come here at all. It was a last minute change. And it's actually because I saw a comment and someone said, come to Vancouver Island. So I looked into it. And the only thing I knew about Vancouver Island was what I'd seen on the show Alone. So Alone was a survival show, and they filmed it. The first one's down there at the top of Vancouver Island. So many. You know what? People might have to type their comments again if they want me to see them because they're flying past, and it's very difficult to see what's going on. All caps doesn't help, by the way. Are you still getting a Cybertruck? No. I doubt very much the Cybertruck. Cheers, by the way. And for those who missed it, I'm having this Church and State wines from BC. Cheers. No, I doubt very much the Cybertruck in its current format will ever be legal in New Zealand or fit. It's just so huge. I just don't know if it will work. Maybe a smaller version like the Ranger size, I think they might come out with, then I might be tempted. But for what I do, electric vehicle would not be suitable. I need the range. Yeah. Do I still drink AG1 Athletic Greens? I haven't for a while because you just can't get it in New Zealand. I was lucky to get the first batch I got. Does Joe Robinette live in Vancouver? I have no idea. I haven't followed anything about Joe Robinette for quite a long time. Because there was, some stuff happened with him faking it. Hang on a second. So here's Anne. repeating her messages to me. Okay. I don't know if she's on. I'm not sure yet. Welcome to Vancouver Island. Thank you, Janice. You've timed it perfectly for weather. Yep. Okay. So here's the thing. The weather here in Vancouver Island has been beautiful. Sunny, gorgeous, mild. Everything I don't like. I like grim. I've loved being in the snow and the freezing cold. Absolutely loved it. I've put this thing through its paces. When it hit -20 when I was at Banff, that was a cold night. Even in here with the furnace cranking constantly, you could feel it. But that's my happy place, being in the snow and being in the cold. I love that. I escaped New Zealand's summer to be here. Okay, I'm not sure what that comment was about. They were flatmates. Oh, did someone ask how I met Anne? Yes, I met her as a flatmate in London. How long ago did you see Steve? I don't know. I can still feel it in my head. So it can't have been that long ago. A few days. It's been a few days now. If you look on Facebook or his Facebook, I think we both posted a picture of the meetup. I can't remember when that was. Tony, what is the most memorable part of your trip? Well, there was Steve. Meeting Steve is obviously very memorable. But to be honest, one thing that really stood out for me was a place called Emerald Lake. Google it if you want to. It was completely frozen over. There's a lodge there called Emerald Lake Lodge. It was on the way to Banff. Spectacular. Absolutely beautiful. In fact, I stopped there before I stopped at Lake Louise. And Lake Louise is beautiful, but it's so touristy. There were 1,000 people there with the ugliest hotel I've ever seen in my life. So Emerald Lake was one of the most beautiful spots I've ever seen. I fell in love with it straight away. I'd love to go back there and stay at the lodge in winter. It was postcard perfect. Thank you to everyone who's donated, by the way. It's very sweet of you all. KM and Thoughts Be Tree. And she's saying, hi from Fort Lauderdale. How was it camping in Canada and hearing and seeing animals versus New Zealand, where there's not a lot of dangerous wildlife? There's no dangerous wildlife in New Zealand. I didn't see anything dangerous here at all. I saw an elk. I videoed that. I can't remember what else I saw. A couple of things. Nothing amazing. I didn't see a moose. I was gutted. Didn't see a bear, although that would have probably been a good thing from where I was. Thank you for sharing the carnivore diet. Yes, no problem. Yeah, it's a fantastic diet, and I will be going back on it as soon as I get back to New Zealand because it really worked for me. I don't know if it's good long term. Did you video Emerald Lake? Yes, I did. A big video on Emerald Lake, walking across it and everything else. Hi, Tony. You've lived in several countries. This is from Barb. Do you think New Zealand will be your forever home? It'll probably forever be our base. Yes. But we will probably end up going nearer to wherever Brandon ends up when he has a family at some point. So just cannot tell. But we're used to moving around a lot. We've lived all over the world, as you say. So we're not 100% sure where we might end up. Has the time and day change a little strange to get used to? No, I'm pretty used to jet lag. I used to fly around the world constantly for work. Okay, it's just jumped. I've just missed a whole load. It's all jumped straight to the end. Emerald Lake in Yoho National Park. Yes, that's correct. Would you ever consider doing a similar trip in the US? Yes, I would. I just said I would go to Alaska. And some other places probably. One thing that I've noticed here, though, is how incredibly safe it is. I mean, stupidly safe. And everyone is so nice. I haven't seen any road rage except for one really annoying truck driver. And the trucks here drive at maxed out. You cannot believe the speed they drive at. But everyone has been so polite, so friendly, so nice. I have not felt in danger at all. So I've loved that about this place. Yeah, loved it. It's been fantastic. It's kind of like New Zealand. In fact, I'd say it's safer than New Zealand in some strange way. It just is. So yeah, I've had a really good time and it's been very, very safe. Would I do a trip in the US? Yes, probably. I've been to Emerald Lake in Canada, but it was in Ontario. No, this wasn't the place then. Emerald Lake is Alberta, and it was completely frozen over, so I couldn't tell what color the water was. I don't think Anne is on yet. I saw someone just mention. I don't know where she is. I don't know if she's home. Hang on. Let me just tell you what's going on with Anne. She is almost home. There you go. I'm stalking her. Oh, no, she's home now. Just got home. So we'll see if she gets on. And she's there with her sister at the moment at home. And obviously Bruno is there too. Oh, gosh, everything just jumped again. What else was I going to say? Oh, here we go. When we first started watching you and Bruno, you used the HP sauce as a condiment. We tried it here in New York. Just wondering why you don't still use it. Because I've been on the carnivore diet. And it's HP sauce was loaded with sugar. That's why. But as I said, I'm off the carnivore diet. Well, I'm back on the carnivore diet when I get back. But for camping only, I will be off the carnivore diet. So it will be back to some good stuff, old school stuff. And yes, HP sauce. And I will also be doing pancakes and stuff like that as well. Thorsby Tree, hi, from Fort Lauderdale. I'm sure we're going to be near there. I'm sure. I just, I can't remember where it is. Anne would have to say where West something? West Palm Beach. Wherever that is. Yes, West Palm Beach. That's where it is. We'll be going there July, August. Anne will be going a bit longer than me because I've got things to do, film. And also, we don't want to be away from, leave Bruno all that time. So, yes. Oh, hello from Morocco. Abdenebi. Well, you might not know this, but I am Moroccan. Oh, there's so many messages. You're all going to have to start again because I can't see it. Tom. Hi, Tony. Hi, Tom. Tom is an admin on the Facebook page, I do believe. TNX, the Coleman's mustard. I tried it, Tony. I'll stick to American mustard. Oh, you don't be so soft. Just get used to it. It's hot. Tony, will you and Anne ever get a brother for Bruno? Don't know. One day, but we've got too much traveling going on with Brandon at the moment. So that was all, prematurely left with him alone. The pancake flip is going to be coming back. Yes, correct. How's Brandon doing with golf? Very well. In fact, so well he's got a scholarship to a college in West Palm Beach or near West Palm Beach. When are we getting a boat? We are not. I had a boat before. And you know what they say about boats? You smile twice. The day you buy it and the day you sell it. Have you been to Greece before? No, but I would love to go to Greece. It looks fantastic. And I'm sure we could drink and eat our body weight many, many times over. No problem, Tom. You can slow the chat down, Tony. It already is slowed down. How do I slow it down even more? I can slow it down a bit more. Hang on. All right. Let me slow it down a bit more. Oh, I see. All right. I'm going to slow it down. 60 seconds in between each message. All right. There you go. Slow mode has been extended. It was 30 seconds. Did I say A? I didn't say A. I did on the video today, though. What is the camper like? It's awesome. It's massive. It's huge, she said. It's 28 foot long and it's very, very warm, very luxurious. Way more than I need, but it's the only thing that they're renting at this time of the year because this is fully winterized and their other vans are not. How do you find driving on the other side of the road? Fine, I'm used to it. Done it before. I think I only forgot once. Now, the people opposite me or camping next to me have got a fire pit going on. And I've only got enough wood for one fire pit, and it was going to be tomorrow night with my cigar. But they're making me very envious. Who wants to look out the window and see? I've got to do this subtly so they don't see that I'm spying on them. And I also can't see what you can see because I've turned the computer around. But there you go. They're out there with their van. Having their fire pit and their food. And they've been drinking since I got here. So we'll see if they make it back in. Imagine if they're watching this out there on a phone, because they tried to accost me on the beach and I ran away, sort of. 28 feet long. She said that makes her very happy. I've already said that. Yeah, slow. Oh gosh. Okay, where are we? Is Anne on? I don't know. Did she jump on? Someone said Anne, hello. I didn't see her. I doubt it. Very much. You'll know when she is, because someone will spot her, and then you'll just see a whole ton of messages saying, hi, Anne and Bruno. Tony, need some mods to help you. What do the mods do? I don't even know what the mods would do. Everyone's been so polite. I don't need any mods. It's awesome. Are you a fan of UFC? Yeah, sort of. Depends on who's fighting. Yes. I don't know where I am now. I'm just here for the arse shots. Yeah, I don't do those in real time, and it's usually because pegs have been involved. Wait, that came across wrong. Pegs, as in ground pegs, not International Women's Day, if you know what I mean. Do you and Anne go camping much together? Nope, never. During the years of COVID, we did RVing together, camper vanning together. But I don't think I've ever been camping in a tent with Anne, funnily enough. Has that ever happened? I don't think it has. It's not because she doesn't want to. She does want to. But it's just timing hasn't happened. Welcome to the island. Thank you. Aaron, did you get outside Victoria? I did get outside Victoria. I've screwed up. I screwed up with the ferries. I didn't know anything. I was rushing, as you'll see on the video, and I booked a return because I have to drop the van off. So I ended up driving to a place. I got here to Victoria and then drove immediately up to a place called Parksville. And I spent 2 nights up there where I had a 0 day because I was exhausted from the massive drive I did the day before. Are you going to get to Niagara Falls? Doubt it very much. Hey, Tony, are you a Justin Trudeau fan? I'm not saying on here, but no. The big question, the island or mainland BC? Do you mean I prefer? I don't know. I haven't looked enough on the island to work it out. I don't know what's available, what the weather can be like or anything. I loved BC. And I loved all the snow that I got access to. I love Whistler. It's a great village. Even though it's touristy, I do love it. Did I see any killer whales on the way? No, on the ferry trip? No, I didn't. North of Parksville is where the island gets better. Oh, great. Thanks very much for that. Useful. Okay, I'm useless at it. Look, here's what happens. When I go on holiday with Anne, she has researched everything. She does the schedule. All I do is the driver. I drive Miss Daisy. That's it. I am rubbish at researching for holidays and what to do. So I get... Oh, Anne just said I'm here. Okay. Is she? I didn't see a message. She says she's on. All right. Well, if you're on, Anne, then say hello to everybody. But I can't see. I didn't see her name pop up. If she does, she'll say hi, and then you can inundate her with hellos. I haven't seen her yet. There's no point saying hello yet. I don't know if she really is on. She could just be saying that to shut me up. Oh, there she is. There she is. Okay, Anne is on. And she'll be with Bruno. So, Anne, someone said, is Bruno watching and what's his reaction and blah, blah, blah. So I'm assuming so. So I think there's 1,300 people on here. The next 1,300 messages will probably be hello, Anne. Here we go. Yeah. So I live on the mainland of Vancouver in a suburb called North Delta. I'm dropping the van off at Delta on Saturday. That's why I'm staying where I'm staying, because then the ferry gets there and then I drop the van off at Delta and then go and get my flight straight away. I can't read the comments now at all. It's just gone flying past with, oh, there's Anne. We have just got home and Bruno is looking for shoes to bring me. Yeah, that sounds pretty normal. Yeah, Bruno runs around. So when you walk in the door, Whether you've been there with him or not, or you've left him there and you've come in, he then has to grab a shoe and run around. He gets very excited and he makes all sorts of crying noises and everything else. So other things about this trip. The van, as I said, was amazing. I rented this from Canadream. They didn't know anything about what I was doing until I turned up and told them. 28 foot long. It weighs almost 7 tons. The engine, the front cab is an E450. It's a 7-liter engine. It's extremely powerful. And I didn't have to use chains on it at all. And I drove all over in snow and ice. It's got winter tires on, proper winter tires, snowflake tires. Incredible. This thing, honestly, is a weapon. I wish I had this much power in Buddy. Hey, you know what? I could probably turn another light on here. Is that too much? There you go. So I could use that power in Buddy because Buddy is letting the side down. It's extremely weak compared to this thing. Oh, hello, Bruno and Anne from Christchurch. What? I didn't get a hello. Okay. What is the gas mileage of the van? Cindy. Oh, man. When I break the costs down, this is going to hurt. So I've done 3,300 kilometers and I have been averaging let me tell you, it's not good though. I've been averaging about 8 miles to the gallon, 27 liters to 100 kilometers. To put that into comparison, my truck does roughly 14 liters to 100 kilometers. So it's not good. My fuel bill has been enormous. So Ren's, hi Tony, collaboration with Luke, please. As I said, I don't do collaborations. I said this much earlier. I know a lot of you have only just come on. So I've said quite a bit already. Anne is mod. Oh, is she? Okay. Oh, Anne, you're a moderator. I don't know that we need a moderator though. What does the moderator do? Maybe someone can explain that. I'm not sure that Anne being a mod does anything either. I think what do moderators do? Delete comments and tell people off? I think that's what it is. You should come to upstate New York, Tony. I don't have time. Sorry. What kind of investment banking work did you do? IED. Yes, I was in IED. Institutional equities. So I was in algorithmic trading. One of the first. We had it in Morgan Stanley. Oh, and I was in Asia. I developed a suite of analytics tools, but I was always in the trading side, always on the front end. And yeah, I ran electronic and algorithmic trading in the end for the US investment banks. That's what I did. Mods kick people out, laugh out loud. Oh, okay. I don't think anyone's being rude though. You know, when you look at Steve Luckner's videos and you're watching his channel, oh my God, he has moderators and he needs them. There are some awful people on that chat. Okay. Hi, Tony. You ever thinking of coming to Montreal? Look, I was meant to be driving over there, but as I said, I had to change my whole trip and change the route back. And I did a loop in the end, and that's why I'm now on Vancouver Island, heading back. Interesting question, Tom. What is the difference in fuel prices between Canada and New Zealand? Well, not just fuel prices, but let me tell you, Canada is just as expensive as New Zealand. I'm actually kind of shocked. Food prices, maybe you have the edge here. It's a bit cheaper. But I'll be honest, when you go from New Zealand to the US, you notice a massive price difference. It's so much cheaper in the US than it is in New Zealand. Canada, not so much. You guys, you pay a lot for everything considering the size. So I hope you got a very low tax rate. I've thrown that out there because I'm pretty sure you don't have a low tax rate. In fact, I think you've got higher taxes than New Zealand as well. Ace of Heart, I left a comment on where the lodge is at on Facebook. I didn't catch what that was. What lodge was that? Was that Emerald Lake Lodge? Emerald Lake Lodge. So Emerald Lake, absolutely stunning. And we've got to go there and stay there. Emerald Lake Lodge. It was absolutely beautiful. Tony, did you camp as a child? Yes, I did. Yeah. Loved it. Hi, Tony. Do you think algorithmic trading has gotten out of hand the way it's currently being used, or was this always the end game? No, look. The banks are in charge of the whole world, okay? When you work for them, you know. When you know. And they will always run things. And the banks will always come up good. Just think of them as casinos. They sit in the middle. They make money. Whether you win or lose, it doesn't make any difference. They still make all the money. They're very, very powerful. Christy, literally just watched the newest episode today. Okay, so again, I'll explain it again for all the people who've turned up. As usual, I've uploaded, and it took me hours and hours to do this. I uploaded the part 1 of this whole trip, the first 4 days, to the members area. Again, the reason I do that is because it's tough as a YouTuber. We have a pattern that we have to stick with, or else the algorithm, you'll hear this all the time, the algorithm gets pissy with you and really can throw a wobbly. So that's why I do that. I have to have somewhere to store it. And because it takes me 12 to 20 hours to upload my videos, I have to do it way in advance. And some people just want early access. So there's a membership thing and people join the YouTube channel to watch them early. That's all there is. It wasn't a money grab or anything else. I could just hide them, but people were genuinely wanted to see them early. Queen Wilhelmina Lodge. Okay. I don't know what that is. I must have missed the whole thing about it. UK, 20% VAT. Yeah, well, New Zealand is 15% GST as well. I don't know what the GST or the VAT is here in Canada, but income tax here is high. Everything, it's expensive. This is not a cheap place. These people camping next to me are all now looking at me going, hey, look, who the hell is he talking to on his computer? I must look so weird to them. Why the carnivore diet? Cheers, Tony. Because it worked. It dropped. I dropped body fat like you cannot imagine, and felt stronger. My back hurt less inflammation. Do you like Tabby? Do you like doing YouTube? Yes, 99% of the time I do. As a YouTuber, it's very difficult to ignore the negative comments that come out sometimes. Very difficult. That's one of the most annoying things, are the negative comments. So the so-called self-entitled that think you're making a video just for them and they want it for them done their way. Oh, Anne's, oh my God. Okay. Anne is she's texting me. So she's now telling me what to answer. Typical. What dog breeds have you had? And someone must have asked. I see. I didn't catch that. All right. And you, oh God, she's sending me all the messages. What dog breeds have we had? We've had golden retrievers and we've had border collies. What else, Anne? Tony, what equipment do you know of for people who are physically disabled that can use for camping? And can you review such items or gear? Well, it depends on the physical disability. And also, how would I really review it? I don't know. Honestly, I've never seen or heard of anything for that particular market. And I'm assuming because there just isn't enough money in it. These companies are just the way they are. They want to make a profit. They have to make a profit. So I don't know. I'll have a dig and look into it. But I would have thought, depending on the disabilities, if let's just assume the basic disability, being in a wheelchair and you can't walk. So you need a tent that's big enough to wheel in at the front with no lip. And you'd need a cot bed with bars on the side that you can pull to hold on to get out of the chair and get back into the chair. I'd have thought those were the two main fundamentals. So I'll have a look at it. But I don't think there are many tents that would actually do that. Yeah. Oh, gosh, she's texting me again. Christy Knight, member for 2 months. Oh, yeah. How do you feel after deep diving into carbs again? Did it give you intestinal distress? No, it was orgasmic. She said it was fantastic. I loved it. I've loved every moment of it. I've got brioche burger buns in the fridge, tomato ketchup, the works. I've got these. Hold on. Breakfast tomorrow. Woohoo! And maple syrup and bacon. That's right. Waffles. And everyone out there heard me go woohoo. And They all look quite concerned now. Okay. Where are we? Eating meat only. How's your cholesterol level? I don't know, and I don't care. Waffles, extra butter, extra syrup. Yes, that's right. T and X. Can some T and X? Jesus, you got to sometime tell me what on earth that means. It's probably so obvious, but I just can't pick up on it. I've known you now for what, 3 years? You've been following. I still don't know what on earth that means. I'm sure Anne's going to hit me with another one in a second. You see, suck up to Anne. If you definitely want to get heard, then suck up to Anne, and you've got to ask a question that will make her notice. Oh, right. Tony, are you in Canada to make a rap video with Lone Wolf? Laugh out loud. Yeah, that's never going to happen. That was my joke. And Luke, well, we're still talking about it. Let's put it that way. You know who else might be watching right now? Hang on, let me tell you. Yeah, I bet Abel is on. I think he's watching. If he is, say hello to Abel and Victoria, because I'm fairly certain he's watching. He's just too scared to say anything. Chame Levin, do you think it's better to have a separate tent cover for rain lifted off the top, or can you rely on thick tent material? That's a great question. So the one thing you'll notice about having a tarp over a tent is also you'll get less condensation in the tent if there's a good enough gap, because you're reducing that contact layer with the colder air. Of course, in summer, it makes no difference. But tarps, for me, are not to help with the tent waterproofness. They're mainly for me to sit out in. I like sitting out. One of the things that has sucked about this camper van is that they disable the awning. They've disabled it because previous renters have broken the awnings. They've driven off with the awnings out and just snapped them clean off. So they've disabled it. So I haven't had an awning. So I haven't got a tarp or anything. So sitting out would be good. But that's the reason I use it. Oh, it means thanks, Jesus. Laugh out loud. Okay. Like all these years, I'm like, what is it? Is he saying Jesus? I had no idea. Hey, Tony, Ramona. Hey, Tony, how do you stay so positive? Are you sick of American politics? American politics keeps me positive because I don't have to live with it. So I'm just thankful for everything that I have and that I don't have to have in my life. Brian, my 6-year-old is always asking if a new Bruno video is coming out. Oh, bless him. Eggo waffles. Someone likes those. I didn't know. I grabbed the first ones I saw in the store. I didn't honestly know. And again, I did no research. Research is Anne's job on holiday. Hi, Tony from sunny Florida. Were you at Epcot last year? Because my wife said she saw you, but don't tell me because she said I'd come over and be a goof. Nope, it wasn't me. And by the way, I get a lot of this. Were you at so-and-so? Did I see you? Blah, blah, blah. It's probably not me because I never leave the house. And the only time you'd see me, well, if I was traveling overseas, you'd know I was overseas because I'd have probably done an Instagram photo, like a social media whore that I am. Hi, Tony. What is the name of your chair from AliExpress? You can't get it anymore. Sorry. I can't even remember what it was called, but I know that they don't do that particular one anymore. I have been looking for it, but I just can't find it. People saying hello to Abel and Victoria, but I don't know if they're on or not. Okay. So I need to stop looking at this and just rely on Anne to send me a message that she wants to send me. And that way, I get confused. So how has the trip been? Exhausting. I am so tired. I'm so exhausted and my neck is killing me from all the driving. As I said, I've done 3,300 kilometers. And a lot of it has been really focused driving because the conditions have been pretty gnarly. And this is a big thing, 28 feet long. And it's wide, really wide. So I'm exhausted. It has been a great trip. I completely underestimated, what I was doing, saying that I was going to drive across Canada, quite possibly the dumbest thing I've ever said. In 2 weeks, because it would have meant I never get to stop anywhere. Hang on, here's the boss. Mania Clem 3459, member 1 year. What's your favorite Scotch? Ooh, well, interestingly, it's not actually a Scotch, it's a whiskey, but Hibiki. I love Hibiki. My favorite Scotch. Whoa, I'm partial to a good Glenmorangie. Yeah, but I like rum more than I like Scotch. And if I've got wine handy, then I like wine. I had rum on this trip, a bottle of Dom Papa. It went down far too quickly. And I had that bottle of Kraken with Steve Wallace. And it was a big bottle, 1 liter. And we glugged that thing. If Steve was on now, I would say, Steve, tell him how bad your hangover was. Because he didn't surface until lunchtime. The next day, I was standing around waiting. And I was at his place and at his acreage, and it was covered in snow. The moose prints. So a moose had walked through the whole place the night before, I guess, or while I was in the van. It's the weirdest walk I've ever seen. And I don't know how many of you out there have seen a moose and seen their prints, but you got to Google and video, have a look on YouTube, how they walk and what their prints look like. One foot is perfectly in line with another with about a 5-foot spread. It's the weirdest looking thing. And there's 3 sort of knuckle shape. Enormous. Yeah. Never seen anything like it. Misunderestimated could be your rap name. Very funny. Yeah. Yeah. How is Crazy Neighbor? Look, no, I didn't see him. He's with his family, but I'm not going to say anything about what's going on with him. I'm going to leave that totally up to Steve and up to Glenn. They will announce all of that. And yeah, I do know, but I'm not going to mention anymore. It's not for me to say. And as I say, I wanted to keep a lot of that private, just with me and Steve. In fact, I didn't even ask him to do a photo for the Facebook page. He wanted to do that, so we did it. And it was just nice to show everyone that YouTubers get together and we do get on. But yeah, he's a great guy. I also know what his next couple of camps are going to look like as well. But of course, he is stuck where he is at the moment with all the personal stuff going on. All right, Ramona. Hey, Tony, if you like burgers, try the White Spot Bacon Cheddar. And Vancouver has the best sushi restaurants. Okay. Well, I lived in Tokyo, so we had fantastic sushi there. But White Spot. Now, I'm not going to get a chance to do anything. Unless it's at Vancouver Airport, then I'm not going to see it, because the next civilization I see will basically be Vancouver Airport. All right. And here we go. Tony, what is your all-time favorite campsite, Tops or Narnia? And what is your favorite conditions to do so in terms of weather, snow or rain? From Ginger Ninja. Wait, Ginger Ninja could be flipping. That could be able. Favorite campsite. Well, look. I mean, I love the Tops. I really do. But it's such hard work to get to. I think, to be honest, my stream spot is my favorite camp spot, where I camp down by the stream. Yeah, it takes me just 25 minutes to walk to. I can carry more gear, and I just love it by that spot. I wish it snowed there more often. That would be nice, but it's just my go-to spot. I really am happy in that spot. I always have a great fire. Bruno or Bruce had such a fantastic time by the stream. It's a lovely spot. And I just love the sound of the water. The Tops is amazing. And I love Narnia. And I love the cove that I cut out further along, where I was ill last time you saw that. Now, I know they're called geese here, but there's Canadian geese behind the van screaming. But it's just such hard work to get to. It's brutal. It really is. It's very tough getting up there. She said, I've got to stop saying that. That was from Ginger. Okay. Thanks, Anne. Okay, wow, where are we? Mars. Serena. Look, Mars. Okay, so where I've been and had some brutal camps, I love that spot. But that's the most stressful spot of all the spots I camp in, is Mars. The reason for that is it's 1,700 meters, fully exposed on both sides to whatever is coming in. And I deliberately go up there in foul conditions. It was a 30-degree day, and I took Anne up there just before I came out here, and she can say on here the temperature difference was insane. The weather conditions, insane. Yet it was perfect down in the valley. 30 degrees, hot, lovely. Second you get up there, it's brutal. So you can imagine what that's like in winter. It's dangerous, lethal. And you need to know what you're doing if you're going to camp in spots like that. All right, here we go. Anne's hounding me again. Alora, Beaucerons, and dog training. On a scale of grimness 1 to 10, how was winter camping in Canada? Was it what you were expecting? Wait, well, okay. So grimness as 1 being not very grim and kind of crap, 10 being totally grim and awesome. It was a 10. What, are you kidding me? You'll see on the videos. I loved it. I loved the conditions. I loved the ice, the snow. It was awesome. It really was. And you know what I didn't have much of was wind. Not me having wind, but wind outside. It was lovely. I loved it. Reek Williams, member for 6 months. Any advice on making more time to go camping? I never seem to have enough time to go. All right, look, that is a good question. Was it Deepak Chopra who said, oh, no, who was it? Anyway, they said work-life balance is bullshit. It is. More of your life should be spent living, not working. And you just have to find out a way to do that. If that means moving or changing location or doing something else, then that's kind of what you've got to do. But if you've just got too much work in your life, then you're doing something wrong. Or you've done something wrong that requires you to have to do that, like got into too much debt. That's all I can say about that. Look, I loved my work when I did it, but then I realized that I was just, it was the money. And yeah, I walked away from it. It's easier when you've got money, obviously. Don't get me wrong. I'm speaking from a position of privilege, but I did work very, very hard. I rarely saw Anne. I was working so hard and traveling around the world so much. It was a bit of a nightmare, to be honest, even though the money paid for all of this. Ryan Stack. If Bruce was still alive, would you take Bruce and Bruno on your next camp with you? No. No. So as I've explained before, Bruno, Bruno was to stay with Anne while I was camping with Bruce. But also we knew we were going on this big trip, and I thought I wanted to make sure that Bruce wasn't alone. And so just everything went wrong. Yeah, that was a catastrophe straight away. And no, it was never the intention for me to camp with both of them. It was always just going to be me and Bruce. Up until the point where Bruce could no longer go anymore, then I would have transitioned Bruno into it. But yeah, that's where that was. Dan might. What's more grim? Hard hailstorm, hard rainstorm, or crazy blizzard snow? What's more grim? Depends how much wind is involved. Again, crazy blizzard snow is brutal. It really is. But if you're set up correctly, then it's not a problem. Whereas hard hail is kind of similar. Whereas hard rainstorm in brutal conditions, if you're in a tent and filming tent and tarp, that's hard. Yeah, that's not fun because it just comes in sideways, everything gets soaked. Whereas with snow, it's hard, but you're just loving it because it's snow. Who doesn't love snow? Come on. You got to love snow. I love snow. It's my favorite of all weather. Okay, Fast Vet. Some people say your videos put them to sleep. Brackets rain. Then they have to re-watch. Did you ever think that would happen? No, I don't really think about it at all. I just make the videos. Honestly, it never occurs to me what people are thinking or whatever. I just make the videos and put them out. Tammy Norwood. Tony, I noticed you smoke Monte Cristo No. 4 a lot. Is that your favorite? Do you care for LFD? I don't know what LFD is. The LFD Andalusian Bull is delicious. I've never heard of it. Look, when I buy cigars, I buy them in the box, which is why you see a series of me smoking the same cigars. I did have a couple of boxes, and on this trip I might pick up more when I'm in London this time. So sorry, Anne, there's going to be a cigar bill coming. Edward Oshman, what are the differences between Brucey and Bruno, and what are the similarities? Well, Bruno picked up characteristics from Bruce. He learned from Bruce quite a bit, actually. Differences. Okay. This could be contentious, but all right. The key difference, the biggest difference that only Anne and myself and Brandon would know about is Bruce was not a people person. That's right. Bruce loved us and he tolerated Brandon, but he has bitten people before. And it's because he was stubborn and grumpy. Bruce was stubborn and grumpy. So some people he did love, some of our neighbors loved them, and he was fine with them to do anything. But strangers, if they said, "Can we come and stroke your dog?" we'd say, "Oh." So yes, Bruce was quite grumpy, quite aggressive sometimes, fiercely loyal to myself and Anne. Very loving with us. Anne would get a morning shower from him when she's in bed, and he'd be licking her all over. Bruno, on the other hand, is the polar opposite. The softest dog you can possibly imagine. Bruno, I've never known a dog want to cuddle so much as Bruno. Constant. And he melts your heart. You can't tell him off. He's such a softie. He's so loving. And that's yeah, the biggest difference. The similarities, they are both laser focused when they have to be. Yeah. But that's a border collie trait. When Bruce and Bruno are on it, oh man, then that's it. Nothing will distract them. Yeah. So, and also super fit. They were both absolutely super fit. Cindy Prophet, Tony, what was the most grim camp you ever went on? Oh, I don't know. I'd have to think about that. Oh, the failure. When we had a massive storm and it wiped out our driveway and the tent failed and everything collapsed and I had to sleep in the back of the van. That was horrible. That was grim. That was the worst. And it was just terrible. I felt awful after that. It was just rubbish. Tony, have you ever tried Italian brandy grappa? Yes. We've got a bottle of grappa at home. It's crazy stuff. You can get quite ill from that. Hey, Tony from Fish and Game. How's the Elf camper coming along? Any updates? Have you converted it to lithium batteries yet? I can remember if you mentioned it last video. Okay, so right now it's being fitted out with sort of faux leather seating. And that's happening while I'm away. I don't know where the van is at the moment, if he's still got it or if he's put it somewhere else. And then I will get all the electrical stuff done afterwards because I do want to do that because of what I do and I need all the electronics. Where are we? Oh yeah, Zigster68. Hi Tony, do you and Anne have a bucket list vacation you have yet to take? If yes, where and why? I know why she picked that one. Okay, so for Anne's birthday, we were going to do safari in Africa, and it got cancelled because of COVID. And it's never happened. So I think this is Anne sneaking in that you owe me. I owe Anne a safari. So we've got to get safari done. And then I had my bucket list trip was a canoe rafting trip down the Colorado River and the Grand Canyon. And that also got canceled because of COVID. Tony, can you speak Japanese? Hi, skoshi wakarimasu. I can read more than I can speak. Ace of Heart. Bruce. Hey, Bruce, if I buy a seasoning from a friend, can I mail it to you in New Zealand? I'm Tony. I'm not Bruce. Bruce was my dog. It's a great seasoning and it goes on everything. Thank you, Ace of Heart. If you go to any of my latest videos and look in the description, there's a PO box there that you can send things to. I warn you, though, make sure you ask, will this get to New Zealand? Because it's very, very strict on sending food and stuff like that. What else was there? And Liz Garcia. Thanks for making this person spend their time in the hospital much better. Your videos are the best. Oh, I'm sorry, Liz, to hear that. And I hope, whatever it is, I hope you recover. And I love hearing messages like that. Look, you know, I was looking after my dad in the UK during COVID, and he was basically dying from cancer. And I went back for, how long was I gone? 5, 6 months? I can't remember. Anne knows. And I just sat there day after day watching YouTube videos. And it was my dad's idea. He said, why don't you do it? You know, and so I got some equipment because I'd done some basic ones. So I got some equipment while I was in England and did that. And I was in Southend, not even in Southend, in a place called Rochford. Where did Dad live? Stanbridge, Great Stanbridge, near Rochford in Essex, in the UK. Yes, thanks to Mr. Edward. It was all my dad. Bless him. Fantastic guy, Dad. He gets a mention in this video. In the video I just put up, he gets a mention. Right, where are we? Obviously, Anne's walked off and done something else because I'm not getting messages anymore. So now I have to read it. Your tribute to Brucey made me cry, very moving. It was a tough one. It was one of the, I think, the hardest video I've ever had to make. I was dreading doing it. Yeah. Tony, will you do Cigar Time live tomorrow night? I can't. I can't do Cigar Time live because it's dark. And also there's people out here. They already think I'm mad enough as it is. Can you imagine if I'm sitting out there by the fire with Cigar answering questions randomly? They already think I'm a complete lunatic. Big Bad Moa. Are you going back to New Zealand after Vancouver? Well, eventually. Yes. No, I'm going. So here's my trip. I'm going from here to New York. It stops off in Chicago for an hour or so. To New York, a couple of nights in New York. Then I'm in London for a couple of nights. Then Spain. How long am I in Spain for? I don't know. A week? Something like that. I've got to rush there. I'm seeing Brandon playing in a last day of a tournament he's in. Then I'm hanging with Brandon in Estepona for a week. We're going to get up to all sorts of mischief. And his mother will hear none of it. And then I'm back to London for a week and a bit. I might be... Paul Mesner offered to come down and meet up. So I might be seeing Paul Mesner while I'm there. You know, you might see a photo of that. And then off back home. So Singapore for a night and then back to New Zealand. So I don't know how much you know about how flying to New Zealand is or what it is, but for me to get from where I live in the top of the South Island to Vancouver, if you did it without staying in a hotel like I did overnight, you're talking about, well, I guess 24 hours of travel door to door. Yeah, that's to Vancouver. If you're doing where I live to London, that's 48 hours of travel almost. All right, the boss again. Jay Joy. Hi, Tony. Does Bruno get an opportunity to be a working dog sometimes where you live? Thanks for your videos. No, he would love to, but he does not get that opportunity. They have to be actually trained, and it takes 6 months. It's a long process, and it'd be very specific. So no. What he and Bruce were good at, though, was just randomly chasing after sheep and not knowing what to do when they caught up with them. Random Adventures 2.0. What is a camp you would like to recreate? Ooh. Like, do again. A perfect camp that I would like to absolutely recreate. You know what stands out to me? It would have to be one with snow. I think I'd want to recreate the one I did for 2 nights in the snow in what we call the Cove with a brown tarp. And I had, I think, a foot of snow, and it was magic, and I loved it. Although, did I have rain going up? I can't remember. They've all sort of blended into each other. Tell us how to teach our pets to sit pretty. For that, you need Anne. She teaches Bruno all of his tricks. So if he sucks at them, you can 100% blame Anne. Tinks, and that was Christina Ramos. Tinks Jotty. Do you choose where your campsites, randomly or by when last time you were there? No, it's random. I have to research a lot. I also don't want you guys to get bored, and I don't want to be bored. So it all depends on the weather, what's open, what's available, how far it is, what my commitments are. There's so many things that go into it. So I spend a few hours researching where I'm going to go next each time. Evelyn Gibson. Tony, have you ever tried Italian brandy grappa? Yes, I did. I answered that further back. It's wild. I did say that. I'm sure I answered that. I've had it. Yes. And Anne's friend is Italian. Well, married to an Italian. I've had grappa with him and her before. And oh my God, brutal. Natalie R. Where's the best place to visit in New Zealand? I'm looking to go with my partner this year. Depends what you want, Natalia. New Zealand is a fantastic place. The one thing people underestimate is how long it takes to get anywhere, because there's so many places you want to stop off and look at that you run out of time really quickly. Pretty much like what's happened to me here in Canada. So I live in the South Island, which is very dramatic with the mountains and everything else and the sounds. If you want green, very, very green rolling hills, and you want to go and see Hobbiton, that sort of thing, where where Lord of the Rings was made and stuff like that, then you do the North Island. But if you want to see the mountains and all the beauty and everything, then you do the South Island. Yeah. And I would just do one or the other. I wouldn't bother trying to fit in both. So from Justin Mack. Hi, Tony. Love your video. Blah, blah. What made you love camping? Did you do it a lot when you grew up in the UK? Yes, I did. I loved it from a very, very early age. And then when I was doing military training, we did extreme hardcore stuff that I just loved. I didn't love having to wash camo paint off. Chaim Levin, what are some funny or interesting camping regulations specific to New Zealand that would seem weird to foreigners? Also, how do you deal with snow buildup when winter camping, because it weigh down the tent? All right. So for that, so the last part of that, weighing down the tent, you need a 4-season proper tent, and it's maintenance. You have to keep bashing it off. What are some funny or interesting camping regulations? None of them are funny, and none of them are interesting. They are all annoying, to be honest. I can't really think of any that would specifically make you think that's odd. No, they're just annoying. They've just got rules. Everything's about rules in New Zealand. Erica, Tony, how is your ankle? Good question. I haven't actually felt any pain in it now for over a week. So there you go. Branch of military, Air Force. I won't get into it. I walked away just on the day of signing. So I did all the training to be a pilot. And then walked away on the day of signing when I found out how little money that they made. Wow, that was brutal. Yeah, 3 years of my life doing that. And then I suddenly found out how little money they make, and I went for the money. But yes, Air Force. I was going to be a pilot. I was training to become a fighter pilot. And what did I end up doing? I left that. Oh, yeah. And then I went and joined a software company and ended up in investment banks. Sorry about that. I do have regrets about that, but then I do like the money. Are firearms allowed in New Zealand? Yes, I have rifles, and they're only allowed for hunting and pest control only. And that is non-negotiable, strict. What does the AB in AB camping mean? Well, I tell you what, go over to the Facebook fan page and you'll find out, because I answered that recently there. Oh, here we go. Some questions from the boss again. FF, what is your favorite country outside of New Zealand? Frank, favorite country? That's the difficult one. I've lived all over the world, so I know so many components and so many places that I love specific areas of countries that it's difficult. I can't answer that question. It's impossible for me to answer. Look, I love the States. To be honest, I love the States because it's so diverse. Not politically. That's it. But it's so diverse. There's so many areas, so many places to go to. I like the States. And you could bundle in Canada with that, just to say North America. Ryan Stack, Tony, does Bruno get along with other dogs? And if he does, when will you get another dog? And would you get a female border collie? Interesting. He gets along fine with other dogs. He's very playful. He doesn't show any aggression ever. If I got another dog, yes, we will get another dog, and it probably will be another border collie just because of where we live and what we're used to and the breed works, but it won't be a female. Anne likes boys. How far east in the Maritimes have you been? You mean on this trip? I mean, I got as far as Alberta. I crossed one time zone and then crossed straight back again. So I changed all my clocks and all the cameras. And then as I was driving back, I had to change them all back again. Tony, do you work a regular day job besides camping? No. I retired a long time ago. Well, actually, strictly, that's not true. I retired from banking at 40. And then Anne and I ran a lodge, our own private lodge, for 12 years. Yeah. And that was harder work than working in the banks. Okay, here's Anne again. Brandy M. Any favorite Canadian snack that you can't get back home? I haven't tried any Canadian snacks. Oh, man, what was that called? Oh, pecan pies. Can't get those. Little pecan pie tartlets as a snack. Oh, I remember having those last time in Whistler. They were delicious. If you'd stayed in the Air Force, would we still have had AB camping? Nope. Because I would have been too busy trying to make money on a massive mortgage or whatever debts that I'd have probably built up in being a member of the military. Because you're still going to pay tax. That's one thing I disagree with, is members of the military having to pay income tax. I don't agree with that. Never have and never will. I think if you serve your country, then you shouldn't have to pay tax. That's just my view. And I also think then you'd get more people wanting to be in the military. Tony, have you ever tried butter with the syrup on your waffles? Yes, and I will be having that tomorrow on my last breakfast day. Butter tarts, someone has said. Is that what they're called? Yeah, maybe. Delicious. Oh, wow. How many border collies have you owned, and what prompted you to choose the breed? Just the two, Bruce and Bruno. Because we had golden retrievers before, and we love golden retrievers, love them to bits, but where we live, not practical. Border collies can be trained. They're fiercely loyal. They will stay close to the home. We can go out and they'll stay there outside the door. And that's the primary reason. All right, here's Anne. Helen Griffiths. Hey, are you planning a visit back to Wrexham anytime? What do you mean back? Who's that to? If that's to Anne, because Anne was born in Wrexham, she's never been back to Wrexham. She hasn't got a clue. Would we go to Wrexham? You'd have to ask Anne. I don't know. Yeah, I'd go and check out the stadium. Look, it's Anne's birthplace. She should go. She should do a pilgrimage to Wrexham. You should guilt her into it because she should go back, especially now it's famous. So as I said, we went to New York, and as we handed our passports over, the guy opened Anne's passport, went, "Oh, Wrexham! Wow, I've seen the show. Welcome to Wrexham." That was Anne's claim to fame, I think. I'm lost. Oh, and there's Anne with something. James 1, what's your favorite tent? Ooh, okay. I've got to split this into two answers because there's car camping and there's wild camping. Wow, what was that all about? My screen's just gone ballistic with thumbs. Why has it done that? I did that and my screen went off in fireworks. Did anyone see that happen? What was that? Am I the only one who can see this? Fireworks going behind my head. I need someone to tell me what that was. Is it? Yes, 2 thumbs up does that. No. What? I've never seen that before. What happens if you stick 2 fingers up? No, I better not. What if you do that? Nothing. Okay. Christ, what was the question? Oh my God, that distracted me because I stuck my thumb up. Okay. What's your favorite tent? I'm so thrown off now. Favorite tents. Okay. Favorite one for car camping would have to be the Zempire. Not the North Face. It's one of the Zempires. Probably the Pronto, because it's just so easy and it's so strong. And Anne's just sent me something really weird there. And then for wild camping, my favorite tent is the NIAC. I love the Una, but the Niac has got more space and it's great. I love the Niac. Someone's just walk this way. Do a two-handed love heart. What the hell is that? What's a two-handed love heart? What? That? Is that a two-handed love? Oh my good God. What the hell? Oh, that is weird. I don't know if they're laughing at me out there. I think they are. This is getting embarrassing. Christ, this has turned into some bizarre. Wendy Sue, Tony, have you been in contact with Luke lately of the Outdoor Gear Review? Yes, I have been in touch with that pain in the ass. And in fact, we were messaging each other yesterday. What did he say? Something, he was having a go at me about something. Oh, what did he? Oh, I can't repeat what he said. He's so rude. You guys don't know Luke. Oh, I could say this bit. He said, how goes your travels, amigo? Get the RV stuck yet? Laugh out loud. He's funny. Ramesh Kumar, have you ever visited to India? Yes, I have visited Mumbai. Went there on work. And I had the best milk sweet I've ever had in my life at the factory. And I also got the sickest I've ever got because I brushed my teeth with tap water. Melissa Wood, AB Camping fan member. Besides burgers, what's your other favorite food? That's why Anne put this, because she knows what my favorite food is. Okay, my favorite camping food is burgers, but my favorite food is Indian. I could eat Indian every single day. What was that message down there? I just missed it. Oh, do you still have the Wawona 6 PhDs? Yes, I do. I might use it again. Yeah. Although North Face has gone all weird and wokey and stuff. So I don't know. Maybe. Oh, Anne's asking her own question. And that's not how this works. You're a moderator. You put the questions that they're asking. This isn't for you. Oh, all right. Anne is asking. She's abusing her moderator membership here and her direct access to me. Anne is asking, our son is going to West Palm Beach, Florida. She means for college. Any tips from members there? That's naughty of her. Inside job. Bob Coburg, what Indian food is favorite? My absolute favorite is in the UK, a lamb biryani. It's just the way it's done there. Whoa, I love it. All right, back to proper questions. Chris Truong. I meant Anne's wasn't a proper question from you guys. Hi, Tony. How do you look back on your time in the corporate world? Any advice for a younger person feeling burnt out? You know what they say? Chris, the worst vice is advice. Just be the smartest worker in the room. Not necessarily the hardest, but be the smartest and use your time wisely. And know this, loyalty in the corporate world gets you nothing. They will dump you like a sack of bricks the first opportunity they get or they need to. That's what I learned. Loyalty gets you nowhere in the corporate world. Money talks. That's it. I'm sorry to say, but those are the brutal facts. Anita Redline, what was the scariest time you had camping? Scariest? I've never actually... Oh, I'm running out of wine. This is the last of my wine. Oh, look at that. They've got loads next door. Maybe I'll go and ask them if I can nick some of theirs. Scariest. I've never been scared at camp, ever. I've had a rough time. It's been grim and I've had to bail. But I've never been scared. Oh, okay. No, you know what? The worst time ever. Oh, my God. The worst time ever was I was camping in the Wawona tent, and I think it was a 2-nighter, and my back went so badly. It just absolutely went. And I was trying to get out of bed in the morning, screaming agony. Now, you're meant to take... So They were are they 250 milligrams? Yeah. You're meant to take 2. I had to take 8 to get through that video, make the breakfast, and pack the tent down. That was the worst. I almost called Anne to say, I need you to come and help me pack the tent away and get everything done. And then I got home and I sat in a recliner like a lazy boy chair for a week because we were going on holiday to Queenstown. And I basically had trapped my sciatic nerve, and that was the worst. Easily the worst. Wow, lots of questions suddenly. Shorty Boo, Tony, how do you feel traveling alone? Oh, Anne deliberately put that one on there. I said today I'm missing Anne and I'm missing Brandon. Okay, Anne, and I'm missing Bruno. It sucks traveling alone, to be honest. It's funny. It's good in some ways. You get to do your own thing. You don't have to stop so your wife has to go to the toilet every 4 minutes because she's had a massive jug of tea. See, I can get my own back. But yeah, missing them. I said that today. I was a bit down about it. Mary 5603. Tony, how many tents do you own? Now, I've given a lot away. I've just basically got, I don't know, 15. Sharon Walls. What is the healthcare system like in New Zealand? In Canada, many people are on waiting lists for family doctors. Healthcare system in New Zealand is collapsing, cracking under the pressure. My brother is a doctor. He's a gastroenterologist on the North Island, and he's swamped. I don't know how it's going to cope. There's not enough doctors and nurses. It's a mess. Politicians, governments, many for years and years and years have let the entire country down. And yeah, that's how I feel about it. Gina V, can I get you a Yeti for your coffee so you can put a lid and don't worry about Bruno knocking it over? Sure, love to. I'm not sure what a Yeti is, but my address is my PO box is in the description of all the videos and on my about page. I have to flick out of the screen to read those that Anne sends me, so I've missed everything that's gone past. Sorry about that. But Anne is the moderator here, so she's running the show. I don't know if her sister Claire is with her watching this as well. That's why I left New Zealand when I did, because Claire was there. Christine Parks. Any wild animal encounters in Canada? Much different than New Zealand. Bears, raccoons, trash, pandas. Not really. Elk by the car, a deer right next to me while I was walking along, and lots of bird life, but no bears, no moose. I was desperate to see a moose and I missed it because it walked past me while I was extremely hungover and asleep in the RV at Steve's acreage. Taya Bene, what was the worst tent you ever used? Oh my God, the worst was the Oz tent air tent. It was the biggest pile of crap I've ever used. Everything was wrong with it. And it was so badly built and it was so inconvenient. It was so rubbish. And I sent it back to them in just a heap. That I was going to put that in the bin. But I'd say it was a toss-up between that and that Canadian RV tent that I used. And I can't even remember the name of it. Big blue thing, leaked like a sieve in every single corner and was a nightmare to set up. I'd say between those two. But the Oz tent was especially bad because it let me down so badly. Although it didn't leak. So maybe it's that Canadian SUV tent. What is that brand? Well, I can't even remember the video. I did a video. It's a big blue tent. And they were so rude to me when I showed them the problems. They were nasty. And then, Napier Outdoors. Oh, my God. What a pile of crap that was. And then they actually ended up offline taking the tent back and apologizing and finding all the errors with it. Yeah. But a lot of these companies don't tell you that. Karen, would you ever camp in Maine? I don't know. I've been to Maine. I like Maine. It's beautiful, but I don't know if I'd ever camp there. The world's a big place. Rachel Ball, ever camped the Appalachian Mountains in 3 states? ? No, I haven't. I'd love to do the AT, or at least part of it. At one point in my life, I would like to do that. But judging how I haven't enjoyed being alone, I probably won't do it because I don't think Anne wants to do the AT, and I'm not going to do it without Anne. So, don't think so. Ryan Stack, Tony, would you and Anne move to the States? And if so, which state would you move to? And would you do camping videos in multiple states? Well, you can't just move to the States. You need a visa. We get 90 days each time. That's it. So move to the States unless I'm actually, I don't know. That's a tricky one. It's a tricky one. You can't just move to the States. It's very difficult. So I could go there as a YouTuber, I guess, and get a visa. But it will depend where Brandon is. If Brandon's living in the States, it depends where in the States. So I don't know. But we don't have to be in the States, just near enough to see him. John Andre, what's your favorite online cigar supplier? Well, I have to buy them from London. And I use, what are they called? Simply Cigars London. Never let me down. Those guys are amazing. And they're very discreet with their shipping and packaging. So I haven't had to pay tax on them. So yeah, good job. Simply Cigars London. In fact, I might have to go and see them and get my cigars from there when I'm in London next week. KM, have you camped in, or would you ever, I guess, in Antarctica? I've never been to Antarctica. Would I camp there? No. Why? Was there? No, there's nothing there. It was just a vastness of ice. I can't see that happening. Yeah. Someone's asking me again how my ankle's doing. It feels remarkably good. I haven't felt any pain in it for a long time. Let's hope it's on the mend. Why would you leave New Zealand? Well, because we have a son, and it depends where he ends up living. You and Luke should do a camp together. Again, I don't do collaborations. Come to Pennsylvania. Great scenery for YouTubing. Again, big place. The world is a big place. You think of the world, there's a lot of places to go. I would love to do Scandinavia. I'd love to go up Finland and stuff like that. I like cold. I like snow. That's where I want to camp. If I'm going to leave New Zealand to go camping, I'm going to go where the snow is. That's it, period. I'm not going to go somewhere hot. Chaim Levin again. Have you ever done a catch, clean, cook, or some kind of survival camping before? P.S. Pick up a few bags of all dressed chips when in Canada. My sisters love them. All right, I'll look for the chips tomorrow. Have I ever done a catch, clean, cook? Not. Okay, so I used to do a lot of hunting, but that wasn't on YouTube. I used to hunt for venison deer. Deer are a major pest in New Zealand. They're not native, so they have to be culled. But I would do it to get the meat, not a trophy hunter. I never really was interested in the antlers or anything. It was just for meat. But I would never video something like that. And as for fishing, I'm just not into fishing. I like it occasionally, but it's just not a thing. Certainly not a thing I'd probably ever video. Hey, Tony, it was awesome to see you with Steve Wallace. Thank you. Yeah, it was great to meet him. And again, we were pretty hungover afterwards. What's Brandon's index? He's scratch, I think now. Or is he 1? Is he scratch or 1? I think he's 1. Yeah, something like that. Karen, again, where have you camped with Anne that was your favorite camping trip with her? Anne and I have rarely camped, but I know what she's talking about now. It would be Japan. And we used to camp in Tokyo, outside of Tokyo, and those were the best. Yeah, we loved those. Very relaxing, a lot of different campsites. We had one in particular where we camped in a whole bunch of pine trees by a stream with our friends. We had to sprinkle salt, or cooking salt, all the way around the tent to stop the leeches coming in. But that was the favorite ones with Anne. Lindy, what's your advice for a first-time camper? Just realize that you don't know anything. And so don't beat yourself up if you get stuff wrong. Evie, wasn't New Zealand trying to eliminate all smoking and it failed? New Zealand wasn't trying to eliminate it. The Labour Party were trying to eliminate it and it failed. Yes, and it would have ended up with cigars being banned and everything else. And basically, nanny state. That's all it was about. It was about control. You got to understand, that's what was going on then under Jacinda Ardern. It was just about control. Chase Richardson, have you tried doing bushcraft shelters? Nope, I'm not a bushcrafter. Randy Riley, although bushcraft shelters, wait, hold on. Yes, well, we used to do them when we were doing the military training. So yes, I guess technically I have, but not on YouTube. And it was years and years ago when I didn't care about being uncomfortable. Randy Riley, what do you snack on for carnivore? Pork rinds are great. Yes, pork rinds, cheese, that sort of stuff. Yeah. Natalie, have you ever owned a cat? Nope. Anne is allergic to cats. The messages that the ones that Anne is putting up here for me to read out is mainly to do with Anne. Ryan Stack, Tony, which is the best pre-made survival backpacking meals you've had, and which brand do you recommend? To be honest, the tastiest are actually that I've tried of all of them are in New Zealand. Backcountry cuisine, they make the best. That you just put hot water in and that's it. But I wouldn't call them survival. So those are backpacking meals. Survival meals mean not having to have water added and not requiring any cooking whatsoever. So really, you're talking about an MRE pack, meal ready to eat. And New Zealand make great pouches for those that you'll find in US military MREs. So if you want a survival food, to be honest, you're better off just getting a military MRE kit and keeping that stored away, because the shelf life is like 10 years. That's the best survival food. And I always have a couple of MREs, full packet MREs. So that's got all the snacks, everything you need. I keep those in the truck with me. Tom, have you ever eaten a weka? Nope. They're a protected bird, protected species. So ignore what Abel is saying about wekas. Ace of Heart. We have hurricanes here in America. Do you all have hurricanes in New Zealand or something close to them? Plus, do you have tornadoes? Yes and yes. We have hurricanes. They're rare and they're probably not at the intensity that you have. And we do have tornadoes. They have them mainly up on the North Island around Auckland. Carl Sullivan, what is the best campsite to stay at in the South Island? White Horse Campground at Mount Cook, Aoraki. Hands down. It's got access to the most beautiful park you can possibly imagine. Right in the Southern Ranges. Yeah, White Horse Campground. No dogs allowed there. It's a national park. Pauline S. I'm looking for a good XL sleeping pad. Do you have a favorite? Yes, Thermarest Neo X Therm Max. And that's what I use. Natalie, has Bruno come face to face with any animals while you are camping? Ooh, just weka. And he doesn't know. He chases them a bit, but backs off. He's not aggressive. Has he come to face with a possum? I don't think so yet. And anyone who knows the channel saw what Bruce was like with possums. He hated them. He was scared stiff. He'd go and curl up and hide in the tent. He hated the sound. That's the sound they make. Possums are very aggressive in New Zealand. They're not like possums in the States or Australia. They are really super aggressive in New Zealand. J-Joy, I like the look of the Zempire Pronto tent. Did Zempire ever get back to you about the design floor at the front when raining? I think there was a small issue. I sent them I asked them and I said, this is what I think you should do. And their response was, okay, noted. So I have no idea. Will you see it in version 3? I haven't got a clue. Greg Musker, hey, Tony, great channel. Thank you. I've been trying to find the guy rope line locks you use and haven't been able to find them. Where do you get them from? They're on my Amazon page. So anything I use that I get from Amazon is on there, and you'll find those line locks and the line that I use, 3mm line. You'll find those on my Amazon page, which again, I think the link is in the description of the videos or something like that. So, okay. I just got a message from a friend in London who I'm going to go and see, Sian, and she just called me a tart because I'm doing Facebook Live. So she's taking the piss out of me. Yeah. So she's on there. And has sent me more messages. Spencer Ali, what's the best 2-person sleeping setup? I don't know. Have you ever seen my channel? It's just me. So I wouldn't have a clue. It's me and my dog. Kathy Mildenberger. Did you ever make a really bad trade when you were in investment banking? Nope, I didn't. But a junior on my team did. And in typical Japanese fashion, they wouldn't listen to me at Mizuho Bank. And even though I said to them, immediately DK the trade and trade out of it, they turned a $100,000 error into a $1 million error. That was the worst trade I've ever seen. And that was because they were speaking in Japanese, not English, so I couldn't understand what was going on. And then the risk management trading team ignored my advice and lost $1 million. That was the worst that I'd seen. Wait, where am I? Okay. Tom Slib, do you ever eat Vegemite? Nope, it's gross. I eat Marmite. That's going to be very contentious on it because all the Aussies and Kiwis are going to disagree. Ariane Kakar, Tony, you like Indian food. So what about Pakistani food and ever planning to visit this part of Asia? I've been to India. I have had Pakistani food. I've had it at Brick Lane in London. I liked it as well. Lovely. Yeah. I mean, Pakistani and Indian, I'm not sure how major the differences would be, because especially with the meat, so much of it came from originally how you preserve the meat with salt and stuff like that from days gone by. So I don't know what the differences really are. I can't remember. It's been so long. Wendy Harben. So when are you coming to the UK then? I'll be in London just for 2 nights. When do I get in? I don't know. Sunday? And Sian, the one who's just taking the piss out of me, seeing her, well, I was seeing her. I think that lunch is now cancelled. Sian? Oh no, actually, it's not cancelled. You're buying. Yeah, and then I'm going to Spain for a week with Brandon, and then back to London for, I think, 10 days. I'm staying with my friends David and Susan at their place. And I'm sure they're not on. Actually, what time is it in the UK? It's 3:30 in the morning. Well, how did Sian suddenly wake up and see this? Go to sleep. What animal is Weka? Whecka. Maniac. Lem. Okay. It's a bird and it's a weka. It's Weka. A bird, and a lot of foreigners will come over, see them, and think they've seen a kiwi because they look similar. How many people are on? 1,535. How long have we been on? 1 hour, 45 minutes. I've got to film. I've got filming to do this video now. It's a good job I'm not doing. I need to have my burger. I'm going to wait. Okay, you know what? I'm going to let this go for another 14 minutes. So it'll be 2 hours. It's a typical Tony video, isn't it? Oh, and just, what's this? Thank you. No problem. You're welcome. What the heck is Vegemite? It's a really, really bad version of Marmite. I had a Vegemite sandwich for lunch. Hey, Vegemite sandwich. What was that Aussie group? Men. Oh, someone will say it. And didn't they say Vegemite sandwich in that song? What was that song? Men at Work? Was that it? And what was the song called? Some Aussie's going to tell me. Someone's going to tell me. Men at Work. There was a song that said something about a Vegemite sandwich. Does Marmite smell? Yes. It smells of Marmite. I can't explain it. No one can explain it. CJ, have you tried a Dometic tent for car camping, or do you plan to? Oh, the song was called Down Under. Listen, I reached out to Dometic to try and buy a tent and never responded. I've tried 3 times now, nothing. Let me tell you something about these companies. Majority of them are useless. They do not respond, and they do not care what you think of their gear. And if it breaks, you're just an inconvenience to them. I've found that most outdoor camping companies are complete rubbish. That's it. Sorry, but they are. North Face, rubbish. Not interested in any feedback whatsoever. There are a few that are very good. Hilleberg, outstanding. Zempire, outstanding. Oztent, useless. Absolutely useless. My new awning that was on the truck that leaked. Bushwhacker. Those guys, fantastic. The owner reached out to me. And in fact, there's an awning for me waiting replacement in New Zealand now. They fixed it all. They worked out what the problem was. So very, very good. Sian says, lunch is not cancelled and you're treating me. Well, then stop sending me tart emojis. Okay, where was I? Anne. Oh, the land down under or something like that. Thanks, Anne. That's very specific. How long have I got? 1 hour 40. We've got 12 minutes left. All right, Tom, have you ever thought about designing your own equipment? Not designing my own. I'd love to. I just said I don't do collaborations. I'd love to collab with someone like Hilleberg or Zempire, or maybe even Nature Hike. You know, they produce pretty good stuff. Considering it's a Chinese knockoff brand, they do pretty good job. And 3FUL for Chinese brands, they do quite well. So I would consider it, but it would have to be my way or not at all. At the end, before getting off, do the 2 thumbs up thing again. Oh, okay. I'm not doing that love heart emoji thing. Yeah. there was. I want to do something else, but I can't. Not on here. I don't know if there's any children on here. Try poutine yet? Oh, interesting you say that. I forgot to do it in Whistler and I was going to do it. Poutine. Oh, man. Look, Okay, I'll try and find it before I go. I've only got 2 days left. I'll try and find it. I do want to try it because I watch a lot of Beard Meets Food, and it's the one challenge that really hits him hard, and I really want to try it because it looks absolutely awful. But I'm going to try it. Chips and gravy. Okay, I love chips, so we'll see. We'll see. So many messages. Come on, Anne, wake up. Are we going to see Anne and Tony camping together sometime soon or later? Camping in a tent? Nope, not going to happen. On our travels, maybe. Didn't she make a guest appearance in Grand Canyon? Hey, if everyone watches that video really, really closely, there's a bit where we're in the tent thing in the Grand Canyon, and I opened the door and Anne's in the shower, but it was so brief and so quick. But you can actually see her bra just further down. She said, "Oh my God, that's my bra!" I said, "Well, no one was noticed, and no one commented, and no one noticed." She's going to hate me for that. I'm about to get a lot of abuse. Okay. Brandy M. Oh my God, you got to try poutine before you leave if you haven't. Yes, I will. I'll try and find it. Look, beggars can't be choosers. I have not got a lot of time left. Why not? Would you please use the walls in the bushwhacker awning? Thinking about getting one for my van. Yes, I will use them when I get a chance, but it's got to be very, very, very grim for me to justify that. Dan Mike, have you ever had a bison burger? That's a thing? No, I haven't. Poor bison. I love bison. Jay Joy, have you tried a Nemo Stargazer chair yet? No, I haven't. Is it any good? If they want to send me one, they can send me one. I've got the Zempire Stargazer chair. Randy Riley, Beard meets AB. That'd be cool. I'd love to do an eating competition with him. Oh, he'd kick my ass, I'm sure. I might be able to beat him on burgers. I don't know. You've seen me. I can wolf down burgers. So many messages. I don't know where I am now. I'm lost. All right. How much more of this have you got to endure? There's 1,560 people on here. All right. 8 minutes left. Oh, what would you say is your go-to car camping tent? Oh, well, I just said I really love the Zempire Pronto, but it's big. You know what I really like is that Nature Hike pop-up tent that sits on the stretcher bed. I love that tent. The only thing is you can't obviously stand up in it. So the Pronto you can stand up in, but it's a beast of a tent. It really is. I don't know. Those two. It depends if I know I need to stand up or not. Ada Joff, will you consider camping in the Australian outback? I don't know. I like trees. I love trees. If there are trees, then maybe. I don't care about the snakes thing or anything. Anne has camped across the outback. 15 Cooper. Do you follow any Premier League football? My husband is obsessed. Do I follow it? No. Well, my team isn't in the Premier League. It's Ipswich Town Football Club, and they're in the league below. And I'm hoping they make it to the Premier League. We'll see. There's thousands of messages. I can't keep up. Hi Tony, what music do you like? All sorts. I don't listen to a lot. To be honest, when I drive, I either listen to podcasts or nothing at all. Sorry, not podcasts. I listen to Audible and audiobooks. This entire trip, I haven't had the radio on once because I like to focus. You done? No, I'm still on, Abel. You know I am. Jay Joy, me again. Do you have any info on whether Zempire Pronto V3 is coming in 24-25? Zero. They don't tell me anything. I don't know. I'm not affiliated with them. I just buy their gear, and they've sent me one tent and some freebies. But I'm not affiliated with them. I know less than anybody else, than the dealers know. Little Klondike Outdoors, which was the tent in the tent. That one was cool. That was the Nature Hike pop-up tent on the stretcher bed, and that was inside the Nature Hike massive tent. Brian Fuller, is the water tank on your truck sanitary? Does it have a clean out to keep it clean? I flush it out occasionally with bleach water. Yeah. Have you ever been? Oh, Tom Slip. Have you ever been to the Redwood Forest in California? Yes, I went there with Anne. We saw the Sequoia National Park. Stunning. Everyone should visit that. If you love trees, you've got to go and see sequoias. They are incredible, and you feel very, very tiny. Tiny. DJ Mac, do you feel earthquakes where you are in New Zealand? Yes, we do. Not only do we feel them, that we have, when we left Tokyo after the massive quake, we get to New Zealand, and then what happens? We have the Kaikoura quake, and we had guests at the time in our house, and oh my God, it shook violently. Yeah. So we seem to follow the earthquakes, or the earthquakes follow us. We've got 5 minutes left, everybody. Fluff lust. Did you make me say that? AB, are you going to be going across the US or just Canada on your big upcoming trip? What big upcoming trip? I'm on my big trip. I'm in Canada. This is the end of it. Hey? No. The trip I'm going to the States, to Florida, that's not on YouTube. That's because we're taking Brandon to college. Jeep stuff. Are you happy with your truck build? Anything you would change? Ooh, no, I love it. Although I had to change pretty much all of the electricals straight away because I misspec'd it. Anything I would change? No, not really. Maybe make the fridge compartment a bit smaller so I've got more room. But no, it's pretty perfect, to be honest. It can do anything, go anywhere. It's an incredible setup. Maybe I'd put a pump on the water tank, but I can do that retroactively. Eric Sanchez from Texas. What's the lightest battery power banks you have tested? You mean big battery power banks? Like the big things you plug stuff into? That would be one of the smaller EcoFlows. But I use for video work, for camping and plugging all my gear in, my cameras and charging, and what I run my cameras off, I run off Nightcore carbon fiber jobs. They work really well. Ron Marish, send a shout out to Nicole, the best wife ever. I'm not doing a whole load of those now. Shirley Franklin, do you and Anne like Vegas, like Las Vegas? Hey, we had a good time there. We liked the shows. Would we do it again? Probably not. There'd have to be a really big reason. Someone just said 2 thumbs up, Tony. Come on, please. I'll do it just before the end. Vegas, it was a laugh. It was okay. Not really our cup of tea, actually. I mean, for the shows and stuff, I'd rather go and see theatre in London. London is epic. London and New York are epic for shows, proper shows. Theatre. We saw Hamilton in London. It was superb. I'd like to see Hamilton actually in New York on Broadway. Yeah. Do the fingers of your choice at the end. Children need to learn sometimes. No, I'm not going to do that, but you know what I would do. All right, this one's a dog, so I can do it. Shout out to Parry, the best skunk terrier ever, part border collie. I don't even know what that is. Ron Marish again. Shout out to Nicole, the best and hottest wife anyone could ask for. There you go. Brownie points. Someone's going to have fun tonight. Right, where are we? I already got that one, Anne. Thank you. I've said it. Yeah, I thought you'd see that one. All right. Oh, damn it. We've still got 3 minutes left. Here we go. Natalie, how much more fuel does your modified truck use than before you changed it? Very good question. Double. Yeah, it uses double probably now because it just weighs so much more. It's at the absolute limit of what's legal in New Zealand, and it's heavily modified, and it's had to be certified for that as well. So yeah, I've completely ruined the fuel consumption on that. Tracy L. Haha. How does Anne deal with you? Kidding, I'm being cheeky. Oh no, it's serious. She copes. You should probably ask her sister, Claire, that because she sees it like that. I'm a nightmare. Yeah, because I never switch off. That's the problem. M9 Ovich, please tell me about the antenna on the front bumper. That's just for the walkie-talkies, the radio, so I can hear logging trucks. And if anyone's on the steep trails coming down, we need to know. And if they're on that, you just scan the channels to see if there's anyone else out there. Rocky Lopez, what is your favorite tent brand? Didn't we just say that? I guess my favorite tent brand is Hillberg. Yeah, I love Hillberg. Their tents are just awesome. Karen Griswold, do you get recognized at home a lot, or are you just a global sensation? No, I don't get recognized a lot, and I don't go out that much. But I do get recognized locally where I live. Yes. I've been recognized a couple of times on this trip. Are we done? Are we good? 30 seconds left, and I've got to give this 2 thumbs up. Stupid thing. Right, and stop sending messages now. Before time runs out, from Vanessa. The Vanessa is Vanessa Tito. You're an admin on the Facebook page. Facebook admin. We have a Facebook group, Facebook fan page. Go and join it. Before time runs out, thank you, Tony, and totally enjoyed part 1 video. Look forward to part 2, safe travels. Part 2 will be coming out in quite a long time because, again, I haven't edited it. I haven't had any video. But it is up there for members now. Oh, one more from Anne. Random Velocity. Have you been watching Formula One? No. I've been following it, but not watching it because I've had no access to it. But I told you Max would win. I told you it would be boring. All right, everyone. That's it. We're at 2 hours. Done. We made it. I can't believe I had to do that. Oh, chucking a love heart just to break the Google AI. All right, everyone. Thanks very much for coming on this. Look, I've still got a bit of wine left. Everyone out sitting by the fire now, staring at me, thinks I'm a complete lunatic. I've got to go and make burgers. I've got to film. Okay. I've got work to do now. So thank you, everyone. Thank you to Anne for moderating everything there. And hey, I'll be leaving Canada in 2 days' time. So this is my penultimate night here. Tomorrow night, I will be doing fire pit, cigar time, my last one here. And thank you. It's been fantastic. Loved everyone here. Thank you all for coming on this chat. And as Anne says, thanks everyone around the world, all thousands of you. Thank you very much, everyone. And thanks for coming on AB Camping, and catch you next time.